Hey, what's up? This is Aston Martin here. I've been waiting for ages to cover Enfin Leve, at least I think that's how you pronounce it based on the accent on the E, and finally the time has come. They've been getting a name for themselves over the last 2 years or so for making techwear cargo pants in a variety of materials and with the ability to be customized to your measurements and have a few other things altered as well. More recently, they've been getting pretty adept at making some other outerwear pieces as well. The last collection in particular had some great looking jackets with all kinds of different material innovations and interesting cuts and some really nice styling as well. Anyway, this video is about cargo pants, specifically the Ameztu, which they sent over to me, so thank you very much to them for that, and they claim that these are their highest spec pair of cargos to date. They also come in at a total of €430, making them the most expensive pair of pants by a pretty significant margin that I've reviewed on this channel. So they've got a lot to answer for. Material, fit, features, all of those things have got to be pretty top notch to justify the price, so let's go ahead and check them out. Aesthetically, these nail the all black tech ninja look, and there's a few different aspects that help them do that. The cut is very much tapered from a little bit relaxed over on the thigh to pretty tight on the cuff, and that gives an overall pretty athletic, pretty aggressive look, and certainly a more contemporary or even futuristic take on your average pair of cargos. Shape-wise, there's some common ground with the Nike ACG cargo pants with the acronym P10s, both of which have become somewhat iconic in the world of techwear, and in fact perhaps even slimmer on the calf, but we'll talk a little bit about fit specifically later in the video. The cargo pocket placement on the legs is angular and with this 3D floating design, which again puts them in line with other more futuristic looking cargo pants and different to your traditional military style. These pockets are symmetrical and there's one on each leg, so a little bit different to a lot of cargos which will just have it on one. Already that means there's quite a lot going on, but the pockets are divided into two as well, because there's a bigger Velcro pocket and a smaller zipped one as well. The small one, I've got to say, basically just for looks, because you can get a pen in there and that's about it, but I think having those zips on the front of the legs like that looks pretty cool and certainly aids with that techwear aesthetic, because with the silver colouring they are quite visible. You've also got the little suede toggles as well that are attached to the zips, and certainly in motion that's another thing that's going to help push that techwear aesthetic and look pretty interesting as well. Of course that's something you could take off for a slightly more low-key look, but with a pair of pants that look like this, I feel like you may as well go all out and leave it on. How does this pocket heavy style translate into actual features and performance though? I already mentioned that one of the cargo pockets is not necessarily that useful, it's mostly for functions, but let's take a look at all the other pockets as well. The main pockets are pretty deep, pretty roomy, and they've got a nice angled cut, so it's easy to put your hands in when you're standing up, although that same angle means that if you're sitting down, you might have to be a little bit careful just in case things manage to work their way out. The back pockets are zipped and constructed very similarly to the ones in the ACG woven pants in that they've got a vertical entry, so it's much easier to use than your traditional horizontal back pockets. They're not that massive, but they're big enough to put a set of keys in, which is normally what I use back pockets for, and I expect they're a little bit smaller to stop the top half of the pant having loads of pocket material and stuff and help keep that sleek look. On the right there's an extra front pocket which is quite nice. It looks like it's designed to put a phone in, although sadly my Pixel 3 XL is too big to put this in. I tried it out with a slightly smaller phone, the Xperia Z5, and that just about got in there. So yeah, ideally this pocket should be a little bit bigger I think, but it's not actually a problem for me because I'm a lefty, so my phone goes in the left pocket anyway. So you're probably better off using the main front pocket for a phone, and this could be like for a card holder or maybe an iPod or something a little bit smaller. The cargo pockets on the legs though are easily big enough to put a phone in or something similar without being so massive that they totally overshadow the shape of the pants and make them look weird. Combined, of course, this is easily enough carrying capacity for most people while still maintaining a relatively sleek appearance. Around the knees you'll see very heavy use of material darts. There's a couple of reasons for this. Firstly, it's because over the knees the material is actually double thickness to help with the overall durability of the pants. They're also used to give articulation to the knee. This both assists with the aggressive and athletic cut of them and also makes them much easier to move around in than a purely straight or purely tapered pair of trousers. The result is that these are very easy and very comfortable to move around in, whilst maintaining that interesting look and the cool taper. And up close, those material darts and little details are another thing which helps suggest the futuristic look of these pants, albeit in a little bit more of a subtle way than most of the other features here. Another aspect to these is the zipped leg opening. These aren't just for looks, as was the case with those zipped joggers and that sort of thing that were in vogue a couple of years ago, but because the shape and the taper on the ankle is quite harsh, you want to open those up to make it much easier to get your feet in. Since this opening is gusseted as well, it gives you a little bit of control over the fit of these. It is possible to leave them open if you want to, and the result is a little bit less taper and a little bit more space around the ankle. So depending on what you're wearing on your feet, you might want to have these nice and tight, have them nice and grippy, or open them up a little bit for a slightly more relaxed fit. Speaking of fit, it's worth talking about exactly how these come up. These ones are a size M, and I'd say I'm around about a waist 33, maybe 32 on a good day, and I was worried that these would end up a little bit tight for that reason, because I did pay attention to the sizing chart. However, there is actually a little bit of room on the waist, which is nice. Definitely means that a belt is required, and the fit of the rest of these is pretty much bang on how I would want it to be. There's a little bit of room around the thigh, the ankles are fairly grippy, there's not too much room to them, and there's a tiny little bit of room on the calves as well. That was another aspect that I was worried about, because I know some people's feedback and some of the outfit pictures and stuff, people have said that these pants can be very tight on the calves. I imagine though, thanks to the waist having that tiny bit of room, that has applied to the rest of the pant as well, so these aren't quite as tight as they could be. So these ones were off the shelf, as it were. This is just using all their default measurements, but it's very important to know that with Enfin Leve, there is some customization options in there as well. So if you've got some specific measurements that you want to adhere to, or you want the fit to be a little bit different to how you will have seen in this video or other places where people are wearing these pants, then you can come at them with those measurements and they can make some modifications for you. There's a few other bits you can change as well, actually. I think like the drawstrings and the zip, stuff like that, you can ask them to switch it out or modify if you want. So it's great if you know exactly what you want, because there's very few brands out there that will actually do this level of customization. The material and the quality of the Ameztu is certainly worth talking about. These are made of a material called Schoeller Dryskin, which you might have heard of before, but it's renowned for both being very comfortable thanks to a four-way stretchability of the material and having water resistance as well. So it's pretty much the be-all and end-all of technical cargo pant materials. It's soft, it's quiet, and as I say, it's extremely comfortable, and all those things combined make this a very expensive, a very premium material to work with and create garments out of. But it means these pants and other things made from Dryskin are very much suited to long periods of wear and anything where you've got to move around a lot. I've got to say, in terms of material performance and overall comfort, these are now definitely at the top of the pants pile. The pants are also finished to a very high standard with clearly high quality stitching, decent hardware that's been used as well, and it even came in a very nice dust bag, which to be honest is of a nice enough quality that you could use this as a gym bag or something like that. The only thing I could find that wasn't perfect about the construction of these pants is that the Velcro on the main cargo pockets doesn't quite line up when you close it. But to be honest, if that's the only thing I can find, the only thing I've got to complain about, then that's pretty good. If you saw the FW Outfits video a couple of weeks ago that I featured these pants in, then you might already have some idea of how I like to style these. Because of that very aggressive, very futuristic look, I really think that these look great with other techwear items, and to me, that's how these pants are best used. That's not to say a lighter take couldn't work. I'm sure in some nicer weather you could just rock these with like a t-shirt and a bag or something, and they're not going to look out of place. But for me, the ultimate way of wearing these is really, stack up that techwear stuff, get that fully armored look, and it just contributes so nicely to that classic techwear aesthetic. So overall, in my opinion, the package of the Enfin Leve Ameztu is a very, very strong one. You've got good looks, decent functionality, great material, high quality, potential for those customizations if you need them or you want something that's exactly to your specification. one has to wonder exactly what else you could want in a pair of cargo pants. But it's one of those cases where you get what you pay for. These things have a price appropriate to their feature set. So they're very much a high investment, but I would treat it as exactly that. This is the kind of pant that you go for when maybe you've tried some other ones before, they were pretty good, but you've not been 100% satisfied, and now you want that like end game, the one pair of cargo pants to rule them all, and then you can basically chuck everything else away. If you're big into techwear and getting both the performance and the aesthetic associated with it, then these are the one pair of pants that I would choose to just live in, day out. But because of the price, I'd say you have to know what you want, you have to be confident that this is the style of cargo pant or the style of trouser that you want to wear, and that you have the kind of wardrobe to match and to really bring out the best in these pants. But if you do, and you do decide to go for these, then I'm sure you won't be disappointed. So friendship ended with ACG cargos, now Enfin Leve is my best friend. So that is everything on the Enfin Leve Ameztu cargo pants. I really hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at these as much as I did. I know I'm going to end up wearing these quite a lot over the next season or two for sure, maybe even beyond that, who knows. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed it, if you want to see some more stuff from Enfin Leve as well, because I know they've got some other really interesting pieces. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like, and thank you so much for watching as always, and we'll see you very soon in the next video. Shout out to Jackie Zoo, glad you thought that. I'm really looking forward to seeing some more outfits where people actually work these into some like cool black and white stuff, because yeah, I've still not actually seen these worn too much yet. And shout out to Red, glad you like the shoes, and good to have an opinion from an actual roadman. How could I forget about the Nike Tech Fleece bottoms? Those are like the prime roadman thing to go for. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you want to catch some more stuff, there's going to be videos going up there. I've probably forgotten to put that on for the last couple of weeks. I really should just set it to do it automatically, but oh well. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then check out one of those buttons on the side, and you can do that. You can be subscribed, and there's going to be, ooh, what's coming next? There's going to be the Q&A video coming soon. There's going to be something on Rosen X coming soon as well, and I'm probably going to buy in some more stuff and do a fun little pickup video as well, because they're always good as well. So yeah, you can catch all of those. If you hit the subscribe button, you can see them first.